Hi everyone, welcome to the first episode of The Wrap in 2020. It's a new decade, so we're changing up the format a bit. When I started this podcast in October 2019, it was a huge learning experience. People that I've talked to have been guests on The Wrap have never failed to mention that they're surprised but also impressed that I did it. Well, to me, it's not really a big deal. I guess the whole thing is not really a big deal, but deciding to do it was pretty much a big step forward. I guess what I'm trying to say is that you've got to start doing it rather than just talking about it. And I reckon this goes across all the things that you do in life as well, I guess. So back to the wrap. We're gonna move to a seasonal format. Hence, for 2020, we're calling it Season 1. And with episodes every 2 weeks, I'm targeting close to about 25 to 30 episodes for the year. I did do about 6 episodes since October 2019, but that's more or less my learning process and will always be the origin. It'll always be up on the list, but it's not really Season 1. 2020 will start Season 1. And episodes will be just over an hour. I do respect and appreciate your time as a listener. I do know that taking an hour plus of your time is a blessing and I wouldn't want to abuse it. I feel that. And I've also gotten feedback that the full narrative, the storytelling flow is as important as the content itself. So I try to host these podcasts as raw as I can get it. And with it comes a longer episode. So I do hope you understand that. And back to the reason why. So I was asked again from one of my friends, why does the wrap exist? Why did I do it? For me, it's a knowledge sharing podcast, a platform where you can listen to something really awesome. You can listen to some really awesome people and learn what they learn, how they interpret things, how they think, how they act, and the results they got. So with that, I also want you to know about themselves, right? Those individuals themselves and pretty much how they achieve what they want to achieve and, the overall thought process. And by having that knowledge, you're then able to better yourself, to be prepared on what you want to do, have a different mindset, a different point of view. You get to know new things that could be outside your current sphere of family, friends, work, influence, and all that. That is what I want to achieve and share on. And I really, really hope you get what you want out of this podcast. And with that, let's move on to our first episode of 2020, the first for Season 1. Let's talk about getting healthy. It's a new year, with Christmas being done, as well as a whole bunch of traveling and eating that you might have done as well. I'm pretty sure all of us have put on a few pounds, or if you've just been looking to get healthy with your New Year resolution, maybe this episode could help you out. All right. So we're moving on to Ivan Lim. Now, we taped this, I think, about a week and a half ago. Ivan is a friend of mine who has gone through a pretty big personal health journey over the past few years. He's lost 50 kilograms in just 13 months, going from 127 kilograms to 78 kilograms. Now, I'm not saying this to highlight the amount of weight that he lost. I'm not over glorifying his journey or the new wave of being fit to look good and all that kind of stuff. What I really want to put across is that in his mindset and in the realness of his weight loss journey is how he did it with just normal hard work and a really basic, simple process from the start, which is still following until now. So without further ado, here's the podcast with Ivan Lim, from Fatman to Ironman. So hi everyone, welcome to another episode of The Wrap. And today we're going to do a 45-minute session. And I've got with me a good friend of mine, Mr. Ivan Lim. And I'll let Ivan introduce himself.
Yeah, hi. He said, I'm Ivan, yeah. Well, we're supposed to talk about dieting, I guess, losing weight.
Yeah. So usually I sort of say, I tell people how I meet my friends, but this one it's kind of
secret.
Kind of secret. So no, I didn't meet him on some dodgy.
We met in the dark.
We met in the dark forest. We met in the dark forest, and those those who know, friends of mine, friends of Ivan, people of the same group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clicks.
If you know, throw back to those times. So basically, be about yourself, Ivan. I'll just go through a round robin. How old are you? Don't me asking.
I am 46.
Okay, he's 46.
Yep.
Okay, and so if you go on Ivan's Facebook, right, you're gonna see one really
Fat ass.
well, that's one thing. Okay, so the reason why I wanted Ivan in this podcast is that when I knew him, he was a big guy. He was fat. Right? And we're gonna be very clear. Okay, first of all, let's have a caveat. When we say fat, when we say thin, when we say whatever it is, we're not body shaming people, right? Because right now I'm 6'2", 200 pounds, right? I'm chubby, I'm fat, whatever you call it. In the Malaysian BMI scale, I am obese. In the gym scale, I am robust. But I was fatter before too, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So in the journey in getting fit, so basically, let me tell you about Ivan. Ivan is he's gone on his Facebook page. He put from Fatman to Ironman. Now, if you don't know what Ironman is a
international
triathlon.
race.
Yes,
International triathlon race.
It's a triathlon. And what encompasses a triathlon?
Basically, we've got to swim, bicycle, and run right after each other.
Okay. How many kilometers is the swim?
So the swim for a full Ironman is a 3.8 km swim, followed by a 180 km bike, and we have to run a marathon, which is 42k, right after the bike, and we have to do it within 17 hours.
So basically, you do everything to go to Ipoh,
Yeah,
more or less.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. That's it, to let you guys
In one day.
In 17 hours.
17 hours. You have to do it within 17 hours.
Yeah, you manually propel yourself to Ipoh, right? By swimming, bike,
On your foot.
and on foot.
On foot, we got to swim the river.
Yeah, swim the Klang River, get out the straits, and then you take a bike run in the palm of the estates, then you run to Ipoh. All right. So, how much do you weigh now?
I am hovering between 80 to 79.
Okay.
I've dropped down to my lowest was 75.
Okay. And back then, when you were at your heaviest?
My heaviest, I was at 127 kg.
Okay, so my math here is not working.
It's
that is 40...
50 plus.
50, right?
Yeah.
120. 47 to 50 kilos.
Yeah.
Right? And when was... what year was your heaviest?
When I first started my diet, I guess, my weight loss journey, which was 2013.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's now the optimal weight that you're gunning for?
I'm supposed to get down to about 72, suppose.
Yeah.
For my races. But yeah, I've been getting a bit lazy with that. So.
Okay. So talk to me, okay? So I know that weight has always been an issue for every single Malaysian purely because you have too many goddamn holidays coming about, eat too many things, right? So in 2013, you were at 127 kilograms.
Yes.
And in that point in time, you decided, hey, I want to lose weight.
I really didn't have a choice because I was wearing a size 40 jeans, and I couldn't put it on. I just could not buckle it up. I couldn't zip it up. I couldn't buckle it up. So it's either lose weight or I don't wear pants.
That's let me think about that. Okay, yeah. Okay, society dictates that you need to wear pants. So it's size 40 jeans, and that's not on your belly, right? That's like your belly on top of it as well, right?
Yeah.
So if you measure navel to back, that's more than size 40 jeans already.
Yeah. So I couldn't fit because my jeans was actually from the US, imported from the US. So it wasn't easy getting big jeans as well. So yeah, and also my father died during my birthday. He had a heart attack, and my friend he was a skinny guy and he had a triple bypass. So I was constantly worried that I'm gonna have a heart attack. So I would get like feeling cold flushes or aches and pains. I would go to the hospital and get a checkup. So enough was enough. So I had to do something about it. Yeah, so going on a diet or losing weight was one of the options we have to go.
Okay, so talk to me about that. So when did you run your first triathlon?
I did my first triathlon when almost actually almost the end of 2015.
2015.
Yeah, because doing a triathlon wasn't part of the losing weight. It was just part of the journey that I had to find something else to do when I've hit my target. So what am I going to do then? Since I've hit a target, so what? Stop and gain all the weight back, or do something else?
Okay, so let's go back to 2015 when you said that you want to lose weight. We'll talk about the triathlons and Ironmans later. Talk to me through that journey. Was it a mental journey first? Was it a physical journey? Was it both? What was going through your mind?
Well, I've tried to lose weight several times before I start before 2013. I've tried it a few times and failed, and yeah. Because the reason is, I was listening to people, like some people tell me, "Oh, go for a protein diet." Okay, eat meat every day. Okay, fine.
Right.
And some people say, "Oh, don't eat so much this, don't eat so much that." So yeah, okay, I starved myself. So it didn't last. There was no structure to it. It was just, just do something when somebody tells you, and you don't know if it's working. If you're losing weight, you don't know, because I didn't understand what it's required to lose weight. What do you have to do to lose weight?
Okay, so when did you go and get this information, and who did you get it from?
2013, when I first started, or when I really just like said, look, I have to do something about it. So the first thing I did is I just signed up to a gym, thinking that was the first step I did. I signed up to the gym saying, okay, I'm going to do some exercise there. The next thing I did is like, I asked myself, what do I have to do to lose weight? So I started searching the internet, doing my research, and trying to find out, what do I have to do? So what I eventually discovered was, after reading a lot of stuff, it's actually quite a simple formula. It is just burn more calories than you eat. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah. So I had to figure out, okay, sounds easy. So how do you find out how much calorie are you eating?
Mm-hmm.
And how do you know how much calorie you're using? Like, how are you going to find that out? So I was doing more research on, what are the ways I could track calories in terms of using, in terms of burning it, and in terms of how I was eating it. So first thing I discovered was MyFitnessPal, an app.
Yep.
And it helped me gain some knowledge on the food I was eating, the calorie value of all the food, and that helped because there was a big database there,
Yeah, and it's a crowdsourced database too, right?
Yeah.
So I think for me as well, when I wanted to lose weight, I also downloaded MyFitnessPal. I think this is a pretty good app because it goes through by word of mouth, and essentially for those who haven't got it yet, it's free. Download on Google Play or Android or your iTunes and your Apple shop. Basically, it just tags in what you put down, what you eat for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or whatever you have in terms of.
You break
intake.
it down.
Yeah.
If you have a very complex meal like a steak with potato or whatever, you just break everything down. A steak is a steak.
The potato and the veggie. Then it calculates the amount of calorie that you ingest.
Or you can scan the barcode.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, that's true.
You can scan barcode. So you get some data, which is verified data, which has a green tick to it, which if you can find those, use those, is better. If not, you really have to question the calories you see on the database, because some of them could be overestimate and some could be just way too low.
By the way, I've seen curry puff there, 50 calories. That is not true.
Yeah, kind of BS.
Lie, okay? It's like the curry puff, it's like the curry puff crust is 50 calories. One curry puff is like 200 calories.
Yeah, you have to do a bit of, the more you use it and you get used to it, and you tend to realize like certain things just kind of look like rubbish and certain things looks more realistic.
But it's a good start because then you get to put a number of what you actually eat.
It's education.
You measure out. Okay. So basically, I know that if you have a resting state, you also lose X amount of calories.
Yeah, your BMR, your muscles, because you actually burn calorie when you're sleeping.
Yeah. And in that app, you put in how much you weigh, how tall you are, what date is it, and the amount of, and the target weight that you want to go into.
Yeah, you lose per week.
Yeah, and they will tell you how much you can eat.
Yeah, it gives you a budget. Yeah, so the heavier you are, the more budget you got. But as you key in because I was using the app and I was actually weighing myself every single day.
Mm-hmm.
I was routinely weighing myself in the morning after I've been to the toilet to clear everything out, and I did it naked. So there was no, I couldn't argue, oh, I was wearing a heavier clothes.
Yeah.
So I was losing. So I saw certain days that, oh, yes, I lost 20, 50 gram or 100 gram. Like, oh, I felt great. You know, then certain days I didn't lose or gain. I said, oh no, I need to do something. I need to do more exercise or eat less or whatever.
You can also punch in exercise and it'll calculate the calories that you earn, right? Or you burn. Basically, you earn to eat back if you want to.
Yeah, but that is the app. But what I did is I did my research and I found a wearable device. Back then it was Fitbits.
Yep.
That was almost 5 years ago. It wasn't a lot of like Garmin watches or these other Mi bands.
Yep.
Fitbit was the only one I could find which was reliable, and the best thing is it actually could tie in with my Fitness Pal.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the most important thing. It's actually it's syncable. I guess it's all interconnected. That helped a lot. Back then, my Fitness Pal was just calculating steps. That's it. And now it because the devices nowadays, they have heart rate, which is more accurate. So I tend to want to look for more accurate devices because the more you do, the more you get to eat.
Yeah. So we're going a bit ahead in terms of tools now, right?
Yeah.
So by this, when you wanted to lose weight, basically it's the threat of death. Could be heart failure, could be diabetes, could be whatever it is, right? So that shook you up, and you said, "Look, I wanted to go and do this and lose the weight that I have, and basically get a bit healthier, right? As you tend to lose weight, you get a bit healthier." And your mindset was, well, was it hard? Did you think that it was a hard thing to do?
Initially, when I first started, because I was a noob at it. I didn't know what I was doing. So I was gaining knowledge as I was going. So I was learning something new every day. And I was doing a lot of research on YouTube and whatnot and reading articles and so on. So as I learned, as I did my research and learned, it became easier because I understood the mechanics. And I could use those mechanics to adapt to my lifestyle.
Right. So you really understand the flow of how it really works, and you realize that it's not as difficult as everyone says it is.
Yeah, because there's some like you see some people say, oh, don't eat after 8 p.m. or don't do this, don't do that, but it's not really that. It's not really that. You can actually eat after 8 p.m. Really depends on your lifestyle. I eat after 8 p.m. because I do most of my exercise after 8 p.m.
Yep.
So telling me not to eat after 8 p.m. is like, it's not the same. So you have to understand the mechanics of it and use those and adapt it to your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's more important. So what I'm saying is, go out there and do your research and understand the mechanics behind it and use it, and make it and formulate it for yourself because everyone is different. Everyone has different lifestyles.
Yeah.
So
So let's just say if I go out there and I know absolutely nothing about it, where are good avenues where I can get information? Do I talk to a nutritionist, dietitian, sports doctor?
Nah, I mean YouTube. There's tons of information about you. It just because everything everything you search actually leads you somewhere else, and the topic gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So it will educate you more.
Yeah.
So so you don't just what I'm saying is keep questioning it. You know, they say something, you say, oh, what's this? What did it mean by that? I don't understand it. Oh, just research on that specific topic, and it will lead you somewhere else. And try and understand what it is and how it works and so on. Yeah.
Do you then sort of have like-minded friends who are in their weight loss journey together?
I had some friends. It did help. Friends are great. They do help, and they can also be a problem. You would have some friends would actually or would want to be do exercise with you, go cycling, go running, or whatever. And you have some friends say, "Hey, come on, let's go eat and eat this. Never mind, just forget about your diet." just eat this today. So they are good friends, and I'm not saying those friends are bad. It's just that
Yeah.
it's a what's the word for it? It's a
I guess it's one of a variable that you need to take into account. That for me, and I believe for you as well, it's really a journey which you are going on by yourself.
you have to take in. You have to control it. Because when your friends say, "Hey, eat this," you can say, "Oh, okay, fine, I'll just go and eat it." But or you say, "No, I'm on a diet and I'm very strict at it, and I have to stick to it." I've learned because I used to smoke, and I have learned that last time I quit smoking for 6 months, and somebody said, "Oh, try this gura garam." I'm saying, "Okay, fine." I just take one puff, and bam, I'm
You're
back
back
to
on.
smoking again.
Yeah.
So I learned that a hard way last time. So I used what I learned then, and I used it on diet. So there were some people say, "Oh, don't forget about your diet. Just eat this, try this, I said, no, I'm on a diet. Stick to it. So
Yeah.
I know if I took that, I'm just gonna lose control and
Yeah. So there's definitely an element of control of saying no
yeah.
and being vigilant in what you want to do because you have the end goal in mind.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So you used to smoke, drink.
No, I don't really
All
drink
right.
much.
So smoke and overweight, but then you went on this weight loss diet. Now, so you've gone through the mental part, and you've got some tools and apps to help you calculate, to simply more of a simplification of calculation of how much food you intake for the day. So as you mentioned, right, you need to burn more than you eat,
Yes.
and that gradually gives you a bit of a weight loss. Now, what about activities? Did you go to the gym? Did you go to do natural
When I
sports?
first started, it was I was 127 kg. I could barely walk.
Mm-hmm.
I signed up to the gym. I went on a treadmill and I walked 10 minutes on the treadmill, took a break and continued and slowly build up from there because it
Yeah.
was hard. Even just walking, I would come home and I would be aching.
So let's just say, for example, let's go into a bit of the everyday guy, right? Let's just say if I don't have access to a gym, I go walking around my condo or my neighborhood, like a 20-minute walk. Is that going to help?
Yes, definitely. Anything helps. Like that's why I said the Fitbits, the trackers, they helped me because it gave me a target. It gave me a 10,000 steps target.
Mm-hmm.
And before I used these devices, I didn't realize that I was only doing 2,000, 3,000 steps a day. I was pretty much sitting down all day long.
Yeah.
And with wearing the device, and it told me a target, it just made me want to park further away, made me want to walk more, and I would take the stairs instead of the lift.
Yeah.
So
And you don't necessarily have to need a Fitbit or a Garmin or a Me, because I think phones with apps
yeah, but
already have that. But if you can't
it's
afford
not as
accurate as you want
accurate
to be,
because
yeah.
your phone, you could have left your phone somewhere.
Yeah.
Like I said, because the more activity you tracked, the more calories you get to eat. Because my fitness pal will take that into account.
Mm-hmm.
So it will give you let's say a 2,000 or a 2,000 calorie target.
Yeah.
But once you do more activity, it adds up going maybe 2,005. So the more you did, the more you get to eat.
Yeah. And what if I don't eat? Then it's an extra 500 calories burned. Would that be good for me, or do I need to?
You
Have
need
nutrition.
to maintain a minimum calorie
Mhm.
because your body would go, if you don't eat a minimum of 1,002 calories, your body would go into starvation mode. So it's trying to conserve everything. So it's going to be very efficient at using your energy. So you end up put on weight.
All right. Okay. So you don't burn, but it starts
slowing down.
slowing down and storing up.
Yeah. So
Right.
your metabolic is going to be all screwed up basically.
So it's like a coal fire, right? You
Yep.
have to feed it enough, because if you don't feed it, then it's gonna die down.
yes.
Then it takes a lot more effort to
Yes.
bring it up again.
Yes.
All right. So maintenance is critical for it.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So you've got the mental part down, and you've started to gym, and you do 10 minutes on treadmill. You stop, then you rest, then you do 10 minutes
Yeah,
again.
you keep
So-
doing it. Eventually, you can do more and more and more, and you can start doing it faster
Right.
and so on. So, but the key is to not be complacent. You don't say, okay, I'm doing like 10,000 steps. That's it. But you should actually add to it. Like now, okay, I can do 10,000 steps. Maybe I should do 11,000 steps or 12,000 steps. So you need to set a target. Maybe every week you just increase your steps count a little bit more.
Yeah.
And eventually it's going to say, oh, I'm not going to do 20,000 steps. It's going to take me 2-3 hours to do it. So you end up saying, oh, maybe I'll start running it. I'll start doing. You don't have to spend 3 hours walking.
Exactly. Running gets you your count.
Yeah, it gets you count because faster. Faster. You burn more, and your heart rate goes up, and you burn more, and you get more steps anyway.
Okay, so I'm asking you because you've gone from Fatman to Ironman, right? And you pretty much are going through the journey that a lot of us definitely want to go through. So 125 kgs, you first go to the gym. Obviously you run on a treadmill. Then what's the next exercise do you want to develop yourself into? Did you have a personal trainer, or did you go on YouTube and read it up yourself?
When I first joined the gym, I got about like free sessions from a trainer. I said great. Fine. Since I got 5 free sessions, I used them. So the first day I joined, and I told the trainer like, "Hey, look, I've got high blood pressure. I can't do certain things like squat. Like I couldn't like go vertically, stand up quickly. I would just faint." I told him that, and he made me do like burpees and squats and things that made me jump up really quickly. And I pretty much almost fainted on the spot. And after that, I say that I'm not gonna use trainer, man. Like I better do my research and find out what I need to do and do it myself, because I told him specifically I can't do it, and he made me do it. And
right, I think they wanted a death wish, a lawsuit in a gym.
Yeah.
All right. So so you went and do your research. Obviously running treadmill was one. So what's next? I'm talking from the fact that I used to be 115, 120 kgs as well. So what were you doing after that?
Honestly, after doing this, doing all of what I've done, is I would recommend cycling.
Yeah. On a stationary bike at the gym?
No, I would recommend going outdoors. If you've got some friends and they would take you out, or join some cycling clubs, and it will make you do more. And when you're doing it with a bunch of people, it tends to push you a bit harder to go beyond what your comfort zone.
If I can't do cycling, if I don't have the luxury of having a bike,
my priority would be cycling first, because it's less, especially when you're really heavy, it's less impact on your joints.
So at 120 kgs, for example, can I get on a bike and cycle?
Yes, you can. You can get a mountain bike and cycle.
That's true.
Yeah, I started on a mountain bike, and eventually, when I was cycling with my friends on Kesas Highway, the first few times I did it, the first few times I cycled, I actually did it at Putrajaya. I did around the lakes and with my friends and so on. Then we did it during the weekends and so on. Then gradually we started doing more cycling throughout the week. I was doing 3 times a week cycling, and I was cycling on Kesas Highway. It was a 25 km loop, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of cyclists there, and you see these people, and you start chasing them, so you start pushing yourself.
Right. So when they crank, you crank it as well.
Yes.
You go that, why am I going slower? Damn it.
Yeah. So I was like heavy, and I was trying to catch up with my friends, and I would huff and puff, and even like after about 8 km on the bike, I would almost like want to faint.
Right. So what about the let's just say if I can't get a bike, I'm on a gym. So stationary bikes.
Yeah, they work.
Then what about the RPM classes?
You can do RPM classes, but I don't know, because for me I find it embarrassing, because I know if I was unfit and I was huffing and puffing, those people were like pushing so easily.
Yeah,
it kind of makes it embarrassing. I guess you end up not going to the class the next time.
Oh, but I think that. And there's a race now, right? All this stuff like 5 cycles, whole cycle, all this kind of stuff, right? I think the community. I joined one RPM class. Then I said nope, because it hurt my balls sitting down that damn thing.
Yeah. Actually, the first time I went cycling, my friends forced me to buy a bike. They dragged me to a bike shop and say, "Hey, buy a bike." Yeah. Okay, fine. Eventually, to talk me into that bike, initially I said, "Nah, I know I could walk. I could do the walking and stuff. It works. I'm still burning calorie and losing weight." Yeah. Eventually, I bought a bike, and we went, like I said, Putrajaya. We cycled around.
So you put your bike in your car, drove it there,
Yeah,
and cycled around.
and cycle around there. We were exploring. It was actually quite fun. Because I didn't see I actually didn't see Putrajaya from
Before.
that close up. Most of
Yeah.
the time it's like driving past and that's it. But I was seeing it up close. It made it more interesting.
Okay, so you did that. I guess the bottom line is it's not just cycling. It's you going
Getting
out
out
there, being physical.
Doing something.
Yeah, whether you run or you cycle, even swim,
Yeah.
right? Swimming is great, and aqua aerobics is actually good
I don't
for
like
the
swimming.
joints.
A lot of people can't swim, but I just have to do it.
A lot of people can't cycle too.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure they'll find a niche, right?
Yeah.
You swim or
You find something.
run or whatever it is.
But wait, if you're 127 kg, I don't recommend running.
Yeah,
Walking is fine, but not running because it's
Mhm.
gonna hurt you more. It's bring the weight down a little bit more, and then you can slowly go into it. But I wouldn't recommend it because
yeah, and I also say that know your joints. I mean, know your body, right? You know, if you're young, fair enough, that's great. But you might have a sports injury last time. You might have something gone wrong with your joints. Know that if you are pushing it to the extreme, don't overdo it.
because running, if you can run, because a lot of people run wrongly. The
Mhm.
running form is wrong, and you end up heel striking, and that actually hurts your joints.
Yeah, you're going to
A lot
you're going to
injury comes from that.
triathlon territory, all this heel striking stuff already.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got that. Tell me about your progress. So 2015, you started off. So what was give us a goal. What was the weight loss
Okay.
timeline like?
2013. When I first started, I set a goal.
2013, sorry. Yeah.
2013. My goal was to lose. I was checking the BMI and all those things, and my height. They recommend me to be between 72 to 78 kg.
Quick segue, how tall are you?
I'm 5'10".
5'10", okay. That's 70 to
The goal is between 72 and 78 kg.
kgs. Okay.
That was my target weight. So I chose 78. I didn't want to go 72 because even
Right.
78 was a long way away.
Yeah.
So I chose, okay, my target, I said, okay, I want to hit 78 kg in 1 year. That was my target.
Right, that's 50 kgs in the course of 1 year.
Yeah, that was my target.
To be lost.
Yes.
Right.
So I actually achieved 40 kg in 1 year, 1 month.
Holy shit. How regimented were you in doing that?
It's like following my fitness pal, whatever
Yeah.
food the target they gave me.
Okay, so 40 kgs in 1 year and 1 month, so
Yep.
13 months, right?
Yep.
Okay, we're not going to count 13 months, okay? This just screws up. First quarter, first 3 months, what was the 100, let's just put it 125, right? So how much did you lose in the first quarter?
It was a straight line. It was just like from 127 straight line all the way to 178.
Wow, so I can take it.
I have a chart because
So
I took a
it's-
measurement
So
every
it's
day.
50, right?
Yep.
50, so it's 25, 25, 25, 25.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't
No.
50. It was one. If you talk about 1 year, it's about 40 kg.
Right,
So if you take it every quarter, so it's every 10 kg every quarter.
right.
It was straight line.
Wow,
But-
okay.
But it spikes up and down. But if you draw it, it's actually straight line.
If you macro it out, then
Yeah.
it's a straight line. Going
Yeah.
down. Okay, that's very promising.
Yeah.
So basically, regimented in terms of what you're doing, being very strict with yourself.
No, the beauty of it is because a lot of people has the perception of thinking, "Oh, go on a diet, I'll be hungry all the time."
Yeah.
In fact, I ate more when I was on the weight loss journey than when I was fat.
Mm-hmm.
When I was fat, I was only eating 1 meal a day. I was eating dinner. That's it.
Why is that? Is it because you're not burning that
No,
food adequately, or?
Because the problem is I only ate 1 meal a day because I thought that was how I could actually reduce weight.
Yeah.
Back then. And I didn't do my research. I didn't know that when you only ate 1 meal a day, it's actually your body actually goes in starvation mode because it starts being very conservative with the energy use.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot. I mean, I'm not gonna. It's gonna like take you 2-3 hours. But
yeah. but I think that I guess the research is critical, right?
Yes.
Doing the common sense thing. Hey, you know what? If I eat 3 meals a day and I'm getting fat. Hey, I'm just gonna eat one meal a day and I'll lose weight.
Yeah,
But
it
that's wrong.
doesn't work.
Yeah.
I did that and I became 127 kg.
Right.
So in fact, I ate more, and I ate 4 times a day.
But were the portions smaller or similar in size?
In fact, my portions was bigger.
Right.
It's just the choice of food.
Okay. Talk to me on that. How was diet and choice of selection of food critical? in
Okay,
this?
that's why MyFitnessPal helped a lot, because I was given a calorie budget. When I was fat, I think it gave me about 3,000 calories a day.
Mm-hmm.
But now at 70 plus 80 kg, I only have 1,008 calories a day. So MyFitnessPal did the calculation; it works. So I had 3,000 calories a day, and it just tells you've got that budget. You can choose whatever you want. You can choose to eat KFC. It doesn't care,
Yeah.
you know. But the thing is, for 3,000 a day, how many KFCs can you eat? Can you eat 4 meals a day with KFC? You can't, because one KFC, like you use FitnessPal, you key in KFC breasts.
Right. Snack
It's
plate.
about 400, 500 calories.
Yeah.
Just one piece. Is it enough for you? One meal? Like, no. You eat 3 pieces, that's like 1,002 calories.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a budget of, you've got 3 meals, 4 meals, whatever.
So you should not skip a meal. You
Yes.
should eat as regular,
Yes.
but you also, and you don't need or want to go hungry. So you should proportion.
So
Your
what I
allocation.
did is I learned to choose high volume, low calorie food.
And what are some of the examples for that?
People don't like to hear this, but vegetables.
Vegetables.
I was a meat eater all the time, but
Yeah.
because I was so determined to lose it, I was willing to change. It's a mindset. It's you must want it enough to say, I'm willing to do anything to lose this weight.
Yeah. So what's the proportion of back then? So I mean, when you started this journey, obviously you ate a lot of meat as well, but
I cut sugar out completely.
right. No sodas.
No sodas, nothing. No
all
sugars.
No
It's
carbonated drinks.
yeah. It's the most important thing you should do.
Yeah.
Because sugar gives you sugar spike, and actually go on YouTube it. I'm not going to explain it because
Yeah,
it's
sure.
going to sugar spikes is actually the one, because sugar is really addictive. So the first thing I did is I cut sugar out, and it also means carbohydrate,
Mm-hmm.
because carbohydrate and sugar is pretty much similar food
What
group.
about fruits?
Yes, I ate fruits.
Yeah. Doesn't fruit have high
It does,
sugar
but
content?
it's a complex carbohydrate,
Right.
sugar, and the thing is, fruits has fiber and it has all nutrition, because you don't want to eat rice. Rice is just pure carbohydrate. That's it.
Yeah.
But if you take things with it, even though it has sugar, but it has fibers and other nutrients in it, it's good. But it still has to fit within your calorie count.
Yep.
So that is still important.
All right. So you're talking about high volume, low carb diet,
No, low calorie.
low calorie diet. So
Yeah.
high volume, low calorie diet, and let's just say a plate that you have a plate that you go to a buffet, right? So you want to fill a plate of food for lunch. Pie chart it for me. How many percent is veg? How many percent is meat? How many percent is carbs?
For me, the vegetable was my base. It was, a lot of people eat rice is the base,
Yep.
and they put their meat and vegetable on it. For me, the base is actually the vegetable. So I would pile it on. I would pile a mountain of it on.
Yeah. And how many percent of the plate would be vegetables?
For me, it was pretty much about 60-70% vegetables.
And then meat.
I would mostly eat meat or protein.
Mhm.
I wouldn't say meat, but
Yeah,
protein,
protein.
because could be eggs as well. I ate a lot of eggs instead.
Mhm.
Protein, vegetables and protein. I would skip the carbo,
Okay.
because we are in the age now that we don't need a lot of carbohydrate, like rice and everything. Reason is because we're no longer farmers. We're no longer laborers. We spend most of the time sitting in front of a computer, not moving. So we don't need that kind of fast energy. So eating vegetables and protein it's better than just eating rice or noodles and so on, because those are really high calorie, low low volume, high calorie stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, you're 60,
It's mostly
70,
meat. It's mostly protein and vegetable.
yeah, 60-70% veg, and yeah,
The rest is all protein.
protein, right? Whether it's going to be eggs or
Yeah.
chicken or fish or whatever it is. Now, is there a certain type of protein that you find affinity to fill you up better at a lower volume, or it doesn't really matter?
It doesn't really matter because like I said, it's because of the calorie. So if you follow the calorie count enough, you start to find things that you would want to eat more because it is high in volume, because you want to feel full, you want to feel satisfied.
Yeah.
So just eat to be satisfied, and I was eating until I could puke. Couldn't eat anymore.
Right, and you still haven't.
And I was still losing weight.
Okay, you still haven't met the calorie count. You can still
I still can eat more, and it was so funny when I was doing it because the next table was just looking at me. One person would eat like 4 dishes of huge plates of veggies and stuff. And the jaw would drop.
Wow. So you've achieved your weight. You started 2013. You achieved your goal weight at 2000 and 1 year 1 month, right? You said?
Yeah, that's 2014.
Yeah.
2014. So I had my target was still 78 kg.
Mm-hmm.
So I still had another 10 more kg.
They say the last 10 kgs are the worst, but then again, it's hypothetical. It's subjective, right?
No, but it's actually it's because the strategy has changed. When I hit 40 kg, when I hit losing 40 kg, I had another 10 more kg down. So my objective is changed.
By the time you lose 40 kg, you're 87.
Yep.
So you got 10 more to go.
Yep.
So your objective, as you mentioned,
I know that I could actually hit the 10. I can cut it down based on how I'm losing it.
Yep.
The 10 kg I could hit it easily, but then what are you gonna do when you hit your target?
So to you, does the weight loss also equal to being fit, or is that a different journey?
No, it's two different things actually.
Okay, so which point in time at the weight loss progress do you say, you know what, I am losing weight now, I want to be fit?
It wasn't it wasn't a conscious thing that I want to be fit. It was because of like my fitness pal. As you get lighter, the less calorie you get to eat. So you had no choice, but you had to find other ways to find the calorie to eat.
Okay.
So you do more exercise because it gave you more calorie to eat, because I like eating.
Yeah.
So like like I said, I had 3,000 calories last time when I first started, and I got lighter and lighter. It dropped down to 2,000 and 1,008. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna eat 1,008. That's not a lot of calorie. I could easily burn that, like a Big Mac set with fries and a soft drink is like 1,002 calories.
Yeah.
That's like one meal.
Yeah. So you're getting fit, eat more. It's a good methodology.
So I did exercise. I wasn't really concerned of getting fit. I'm more a concern of getting to eat more. So exercise was it. So as you do exercise, you got fitter, and you slowly build onto that. And yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a very refreshing point of view coming across, because you just want to get healthy. You just want to lose weight, be healthy, not necessarily have an end goal of running a marathon or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So 2014, you're fit. I mean, you've lost weight to about 87 kilograms. You've got 10 more to go.
So I knew 10 more, and I could hit that probably in another 3 more months. So, but if I hit my target, what am I going to do? Like stop doing what I'm doing now, and what? I needed another goal. I need to keep the momentum going. So I said, what am I going to do? So like I was looking around and said, yeah, because I was cycling and I saw this bicycle. It's like, oh, I really like this bike, like a tri bike. It's like a really aero, really space like bicycle. Like it's like, okay, I like this bike. I'll buy this bike, but it's a triathlon bike. If you don't do a triathlon,
switched it.
Like what the hell? People's gonna laugh at you. So I had no choice. Like I like this bike, so okay, triathlon is it? So I was looking around now. What's triathlon? So I didn't know what a triathlon was back when I first started.
Yeah.
And so I was just like researching a triathlon. And then I came across like Ironman. Like, oh, what's this? wow, I gotta like swim 3.8 km, like cycle 180, and
Wait,
like,
so the first triathlon you joined is the Ironman triathlon?
yeah. No, I signed up. My first triathlon was a full Ironman. I signed up for it,
Right.
and I could not even swim.
Okay.
When I first signed it, when I found out like 2014, at the end, I started 2013. At the 2014, end of 2014, I signed up for a full Ironman.
Yep.
And I gave myself 1 year to learn how to swim. Because the race was in November 2015.
Okay. So you had a year.
Yeah, so I had a year. So I gave myself, because then I was just cycling. I've been cycling for 6 months.
Were you running?
No.
Okay. So you had to learn how to swim.
Yep.
And run properly.
Yep.
Run a full marathon.
No, that's how to run.
How to run.
Just run.
Before you even started running a full marathon.
I haven't run before.
Okay.
No, before I even did a full Ironman, I have not run a marathon before.
Wow. Okay.
No, have I cycled 180 km before?
Okay.
I could not even swim a lap.
All right. So now it gets really interesting. So talk me through it. 1 year. What did you do to prepare?
Like because it's expensive. A full Ironman, the registration is about 3K.
Wow. Okay.
The entry fee is about 3K. That then you factor in the hotels, the travel, everything. It's actually really expensive.
Where was this Ironman?
This is Malaysia Langkawi.
Okay.
Ironman.
So you got 1 year.
Yeah, I got one year to do it. Because I signed up end of 2014.
Yeah.
And the first thing I did is like, what do I need to do? I was doing research, like, how do I have to train for Ironman? I have no idea where to start. So I know how to swim. I know I have to cycle. I know I have to run. So I've been cycling 6 months before that. So I could do 90 or 100 km on a bike. So I'm halfway there. So it wasn't too bad. I was cycling 3 times a week. So I was just continue doing that. Then the most important thing is to swim, because if you can't swim it, you can't even do the bike or the run at all. They won't let you go on.
Yeah.
So there's a cutoff time for the swim, and there's a cutoff time for the bike and the run as well. So I had to figure out how to swim. And when I first jumped the pool, I was doing dog paddling. I was doing freestyle with my head out, and I could do a 25 lap and huff and puff and do a second lap, and that's it. I couldn't do it anymore.
That's breaststroke or freestyle?
It's a supposedly a freestyle, but it's not a freestyle. It's like, yeah, it was totally wrong. I thought I could swim, but then I realized like I didn't know how to swim.
Yeah.
So I had to figure out how to swim. So like how I lost weight, I went to YouTube and did my research on YouTube, and figuring out what do I have to do to swim. And I was researching freestyle, because I was reading freestyle was the most efficient way to do an Ironman. So yeah, freestyle. So I chose freestyle, and I was researching how to freestyle, and every time I would watch YouTube, and I'll go into the pool and practice it. And eventually 1 lap became 2 laps, and 2 laps became 3 laps, and so on. And by the end of it, close to the race, I was doing 4 km swim.
Oh, okay.
Non-stop.
Wow. That's
160. Not mistaken. The math is correct. It's 160 laps in the 25-meter pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you did that, and a swim is 3.9 km for
3.8.
3.8 km for Ironman, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you got that down pat.
So I had to mentally do the distance. I was doing 4 km in the pool, because I need to know that I could do 4 km. Because when I first started, I was worried about deep water, because I thought I was going to sink.
Yeah.
And I actually had to build up the courage and the confidence to be able to swim in deep water. And because the Ironman was done in the open water, so
there's currents and stuff like that as well. Yeah.
So I had to know that I could actually do a 4 km swim, and I had to do it without stopping, because my pool is a 4-foot pool. I could stand up. If I could swim non-stop, that means I can do it in the open water, because I don't need to stand up.
Yeah, fair enough. And I guess also you need to do it with a whole bunch of people, right? You have that challenge as well. You're swimming.
Yeah, I didn't do it in my pool. I didn't have didn't have
Right.
a lot of people to practice with. So yeah.
How long are you given for that swim part?
If I'm not mistaken, an hour and 10. No, wait. 2 hours? I can't remember. It's like 2.5 hours, something like that.
To swim 4 km.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you also had to learn how to run.
Yeah.
So-
I wasn't worried. My strategy wasn't to run.
Right.
My strategy was walk it.
Okay.
So because
Well, you want to walk a 42 km?
yeah.
Okay.
So I had to swim fast enough and bike fast enough that I could walk the entire marathon.
Right. So talk me through it. So 2015 November, you've done 1 year. You've built your core enough so you can swim 4 km.
Yep.
You can bike 180.
I've
Or did
never
you
done
bike-
before.
you done
The
before, but
most
you
I've
biked
done-
90 to 100.
No, the most I've done was 130 km.
130 km.
That was it.
Okay. And you're gonna walk it. You're gonna walk that.
No, the strategy is to
walk the marathon.
to finish it, to finish the bike, and with enough time to walk the marathon.
Okay.
That is the worst scenario.
How long are you given for the bike part?
I honestly
think,
can't remember.
Just YouTube. Everyone is going to Google this part, okay? So November 2015.
I just know that everything adds up 17 hours.
17 hours. Okay. So November 2015, you're in Langkawi, you're strapping up, you're at the starting line. What's in your head right now?
The swim.
The swim.
I hate the swim.
Okay.
It's
So,
scary.
Talk me through it. So the
But
Yeah.
actually, before when I signed up for a full Ironman, but
Mhm.
I did 2 triathlon before this race as a practice
okay.
because I wasn't gonna go and do a full distance without even trying it a bit. So 2 months before the Langkawi race, I signed up for a half distance triathlon.
Okay. So everything just gets half.
Yeah, everything half.
So it's 17 hours is about
It's 9. You have to finish in 8.5
8.5.
hours.
Okay.
8.5 hours. Everything was halved. I signed up for that just to get a feel for it. At that point, I still haven't run a half marathon either.
Yep.
But 6 months before a full Ironman race, I started to run. I started to practice run. It was like I was doing research how to run and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like I could not do 500 meters 1 km, but I slowly built it up. I did 1 km, I started walking, and eventually I built it up and so on. But I wasn't very fast, but at least I was faster than walking.
Yeah.
It was a beginning stage.
Did you run on an open road first off straight away, or did you go to a
Yeah, I
straight
went to
road
Desert Park City.
Yeah.
I ran the lake, which is a 2.4 km loop. That the first time I did it took me four walks. I had to stop 4 times doing that one loop. And every time I went and run there, I would try and push myself a little bit further before I walked. And eventually, it builds up. And eventually, I could finish the entire loop without walking.
Yep.
Yeah. So it was that mentality of pushing a little bit further. I think that helped a lot.
All right.
Yeah.
So you joined a triathlon before your Ironman.
Just get a feel for it.
How did that turn out?
Wasn't that bad? I finished. It wasn't that bad actually. I almost quit during the swim because the first 500 meters in the swim I was starting to panic. Because like I was swimming with a bunch of people like kicking and splashing and everything.
Yeah, that's why you can't swim breaststroke because too much
No,
space.
no, a lot of people swim breaststroke
Oh, really?
because
Okay.
but actually breaststroke is good, but it actually takes a lot out of your legs.
Yeah. You're
It's not as
using-
efficient as
Yeah.
as freestyle.
It's a full leg propulsion
Yeah,
instead of
yeah.
freestyle.
Yeah, so I almost quit. I almost like pulled out because the first 500 meters I was panicking. I was trying to control myself. Eventually, I managed to get a hold of myself, calm myself down. I didn't swim with the pack. I decided to move away from the pack. So I wasn't so scared, I guess. And I had to swim further, but at least I wasn't scared. And And
And
we
you-
actually did it.
Yeah, and you weren't racing them; you're racing yourself.
Yeah,
So you didn't
definitely.
need to have people around you to compete with.
Yeah. It's end of the day, it's all about yourself. Unless I'm at pro level, then I'll be racing against others. But at this point, I'm still racing against myself.
Yeah. So you got done in the swim, which
Yep.
is half of 3.8 with about 1.6. Oh, wait, my math is so bad.
No, it's
1.9.
not exactly half. For the swim, it's not exactly half. The swim for a half distance is a 1.8 km swim.
Okay,
It's slightly different, but the bike is 90 and the run is a half marathon.
right.
But the swim is slightly off.
Okay.
So then after that, on the bike, did the bike. This specific course I chose was really bad because it was a 20% elevation and we had to do it 4 times.
Wow.
It's a short, I think about 800 meters or a km. It was, but really steep.
A 20% elevation over a km. That's
It was the because it was a resort and you have to get out of the resort. It's a hill, then you have to get in the road, then you come back. You have to do it 4 times. So the first time I cycled up it, I survived it, so it was good. But the second time I went up the hill and halfway through both my legs cramped and I pretty much rolled over and crashed. It's just like cramped and boom on the ground.
right. How did you recover from that?
Well, pushed the bike all the way up.
Ouch. Okay.
But by then, when you cramp, the run is going to be horrible.
Mhm.
It's going to hurt like hell.
So you managed to push through 4 rounds of that uphill
Yeah.
bike part.
Yep.
And then tell me about the run. So this will be the first time ever you will be running
A half
a half
marathon.
marathon.
It was hot.
How did it go? What time do triathlon start in the morning usually?
Sunrise.
Right.
Because they don't want you to swim in the dark.
Okay. Fair
So
enough.
sunrise is swim. So depending how fast you are, by the time you finish your bike, it's going to be 11, 12 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you're running middle of
yeah.
the afternoon sun.
Yeah, and that place had no trees. It was literally under the hot sun all the
Wow.
way through.
So how long did you take to run half marathon? Did you run it all the way? Or did you run, walk?
It was like try to run, walk most of it.
Okay. But you managed to finish it?
Yep. I did it 7.5 hours.
Wow.
So
That's
I had 1
impressive.
hour spare.
Okay. And this for a guy who hasn't even done a marathon, hasn't even done any
Yeah, I was
swimming.
doing like 3K, 4K runs. That's it.
Impressive. So is it a mental thing? Is it
Oh, it's
physical thing?
definitely a mental thing because the sun is the one enough to get you want to quit.
Yeah.
It's so hot.
Awesome. So okay, that's done. So you've got that in the back already.
So half distance. So I signed up to a Olympic distance.
What's the Olympic distance?
1.5 km swim,
Mhm.
40 km bike, and a 10K run.
That's shorter than a
Yeah.
half one. Okay.
It's shorter. I just want to get more because I couldn't find any races. So I found a race in Pattaya. And a race in Pattaya, and I got to travel and try somewhere else. So
Yeah.
it was a fantastic experience in Pattaya.
Did you go full hard for this one? Did you manage to swim all the way? Did you do a full bike and then a full run?
Yeah, I think I did. I can't remember.
So did you run stop, or did you like ran all the way?
I ran. Back then. I would go all out,
Mm.
even though I could not. I just tried my best to do whatever I could. It was just if I could run, I would keep running.
Yeah. Okay.
Until I just couldn't do it anymore.
So you're done with that, and then the next big one up was the Ironman,
Yes.
2015 November.
Yes.
Now tell me about that.
Oh, it was 1 week before the race. You just wish that I'll fall sick and don't have to do it. It was scary.
Okay.
It was really scary because the swim. I think it took me quite some time to get used to the swim. I'm quite okay now with the swim, but I still get nervous thinking about the swim.
Mm-hmm.
So 1 week before, I was just hoping I'll fall sick and just say, "Oh, I can't do it. I have to quit." I was just like hoping
Yeah.
for a reason not to do it. It was scary. It was really scary. So eventually, nothing happened. bummer. So I had to go race. I had no excuse.
All right.
So we was there few days ahead. I think 3-4 days ahead. I can't remember exactly. And yeah, just try out the open water. They had practice sessions so for us to try out the water. We could ride a bit of the bike. They would I was hearing funny like stories of people saying like Langkawi's bike route was really steep, a lot of hills, and like must go and find out what's those hills about and so on.
Yeah.
And we was a few days ahead. We just driving around, cycling around, swimming, trying out all these parts of the course.
So you're allowed to take your car and say go check out the course.
Yeah. It's actually just normal roads. We could drive around and cycle around. We can do whatever. We just chilled out and try and figure out what are the strategy. So one of the strategy was like I said, give me enough time to walk the whole marathon. So I had a friend who joined me. He signed up. I was actually trying to convince him to join me. Like I was new to this. I didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
It was scary.
He Ironman? I'd say veteran already, or has he joined Ironman before or other triathlons?
No, because I was my group of friends wasn't triathletes. A lot of my friends couldn't swim.
Yeah.
So I had this friend who could swim, luckily, and he he cycled with us and so on. He's also a chubby guy.
Yeah.
Adrian. Adrian. Eventually, I convinced him to sign up for the Ironman, and luckily he joined me. That helped a lot because I was alone. I didn't know a lot of people in the triathlon community, and I didn't know anything about this race and how to plan for it, what to do, what are the things to watch out for. I knew nothing about it. So I had this friend. We were sitting down and analyzing, okay, what can we do? What do we have to do? So we have to, like I said, we figure it out. If we can finish the bike and giving us enough time to walk the race, we are safe. So, and we know our time on for the swim because we've done a 4 km swim in the pool before.
Yeah.
And we know roughly it takes about 1.5 hours. And our bike, based on our normal training routes, we know roughly we can do what kind of speed. And my friend did the calculation that I had to be back by 3 p.m.
To be on land.
Finish my bike by 3 p.m. And I should have enough time to actually walk the marathon and still finish within before 17 hours.
Okay.
So race day, did the swim, survived it, thank God.
Right.
Got on a bike.
Did you stay at the pack or did you go off a bit?
I always go out on a bit. I prefer swimming alone because I didn't want to be in the pack, and because I would end up starting and stopping. It was much harder that way.
Yeah.
So I tend to swim further out from the group. I'm okay with swimming further, but I prefer that than starting and stopping.
Okay.
So I always stayed on the outside lane. I learned from my previous races that the first race the second race in Pattaya, I made a mistake of swimming the inside lane, and the whole pack squished me against they had this buoy and stuff, and I was constantly running the buoy. So I learned from that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good actually. I tried out other races and I learned from that mistake.
Good experience.
Yeah. So I swam on the outside.
Okay.
So
you finished the swim. You got on your bike.
Finished the bike without much drama. Almost cramped.
Was it steep though, as they said it was?
No, thank God my training was actually worse than that.
Okay, cool. So you got to get ready. So you don't have to.
Yeah, I was unintentionally ready for it because the places I was hiking, I was cycling in Ululangat, and that was really hilly. Those places were really hilly, and compared to Langkawi, I felt Ululangat, that area was actually much harder than Langkawi.
Okay.
There was one part which is steep, but it was really short. So I was ready for it. The whole idea was not to cramp during the bike.
Yeah, because you mentioned if you cramp during the bike, it's gonna be hell on you when you run.
Yeah, it's pretty much game over. You can't. It's really hard. Trying to run.
Yeah.
I tried not to cramp. Almost cramped. Luckily, I made it back without cramping. It was really. It was really one of the trainings 3 months before the Ironman race that I started. Instead of cycling outdoors, I switched to indoor cycling. That helped a lot. That conditioned my muscle to be spinning for so many hours non-stop, and that eliminated the cramps that I normally had before. So so that helped. So came back, no cramp, feeling great. Yeah, feeling great. I was riding really like amazingly. Yeah, like I was riding because in Langkawi, the transition, the bike stop was actually in a aeroplane hangar. Aeroplane, not hangar, but the lobby or whatever. It's like the airport. No, the airport inside with air conditioning and so on. So we went inside. There was really cold, cool. We had to run a little bit inside. I think it was like a 300-400 meters inside, air conditioned. Oh, it's fantastic. Like, I really enjoyed it. Like, yeah, it was good because nice and cooling. But when I got out, initially for the first km, it was cold water and stuff. I was like cooling, still cooling.
Yeah.
But the heat started to kick in. Like after 3 km, like, oh my god, I'm toast. It's hot. I was just like, I want to quit. I just want to quit. I don't know how I'm gonna stand another 6-7 hours under the hot sun.
Wow.
So like, yeah. So I was like, then like after 3 km, I started walking. Like it was so hot. I just like couldn't run anymore. I just started walking. So since I got back exactly based on calculation 3 p.m. I should be able to walk it. So I started walking it. Then as I was walking, I had plenty of time. I was doing the math in my head, like, because on my watch I was telling, okay, I'm doing this pace, and I was doing the math and saying, based on this pace I'm walking, it doesn't really add up.
Yeah.
Like,
you won't make the
I won't make the cutoff.
Yeah.
Because my friend said you can walk it, but he didn't actually clarify the walk was actually like a 9 minute or 10 minute pace. I was doing a 12-minute pace.
Right. Okay.
So like that doesn't add up. Like
that's power walking.
Yeah,
power walking.
Okay, this is not right. Like, so I started jogging. So I came up with a strategy is that I would jog mentally. I would just like break it down into, because there were 8 stations every 2 km.
Yep.
So I said, okay, I will just jog to the 8th station and walk during the 8th station, take the drink, relax, slow down, and start off the jogging. So I will just break it into sections.
Yeah.
So 2 km, 8th station, relax, drink, cool down, continue, keep doing that for the entire race. So luckily that strategy really helped. It made me faster, and at least it gave me a target. Like, okay, just hold the pace for that. During that, in between the 8th station. So I did that strategy for 30 km.
Yep.
And after that, every part of my body, that certain parts of my body I didn't realize existed, started to hurt. Every part of my body hurt. Okay. Everywhere.
So you've done 30, you've got 12 left to go.
Yeah.
So how did you finish that final 12?
I had to walk it. And luckily I jogged it enough that I had enough time that I could actually do a 12-minute pace or 13 minutes. I didn't know what pace I was doing, but I knew I had time.
So what was your final time?
I did it 15 hours and 10 minutes.
Wow. You still got like...
I had 1 hour and 15 minutes left.
Awesome.
If I knew I was 10 minutes, I would try and push it that 10 minutes and get it below 15 hours.
Right.
But my watch was flat by then.
Okay. So was that your first Ironman?
Yeah.
Did you do more than that? Did you do more after that?
No.
There's a one and only Ironman. That's still 15. So it's 4 years down the line.
I 4 years down the line, that was my one and only full iron distance, but I still did half iron distance.
Right.
I trained more now. and I focus on the half distance because honestly, for full distance, I really didn't have time to really train for full distance.
Yeah.
So I chose a half distance because I could fit it within my schedule, my daily schedule, and I focused on that.
Okay. So if we go back to you, right? So you've done all your fitness stuff. So just to let everyone know as well, it's not a full-time thing, right? Ivan's got a job. What do you do on a day? What's a day job?
My day job, I run my own business.
Yeah.
I run my own business. My company is POP specialist. We design and build retail displays for consumer goods, things that you see in supermarket or pharmacy. So we manufacture those. So my day job is that.
Yeah, and then you run that, it's your company, so there's an element of, operations, process, finance, all that kind of stuff.
Yes,
so
yes.
It's not to say that you're a salary earner. I think running a business takes up a lot more time.
Yeah, it does.
Right?
Yeah, it's not 9 to 6.
Yeah, it's 9 a.m. to 6 a.m.
Yeah, so you have to be more efficient with your time.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, basically, last time, I would say, I don't have time to do this, do that. So now I realize that you can actually juggle, because last time we wasted a lot of time doing rubbish.
Yeah.
So you because we have this schedule, this training schedule, so you tend to try and optimize and be more efficient at your job.
Yeah, and you tend to because those are things you can't shake. You want to build your schedule around it.
Yes.
You realize that, hey, I can do this faster, I can do this less.
You have to work smarter.
Less delicately. Be smarter about your time as well. You got 24 hours in a day.
Yeah.
Everyone has that, right?
Yes.
That's a common denominator for everyone. Okay, cool. So before we sort of finish off, if I'm a heavy guy, girl, lady, whatever, man, I want to start losing weight. How do I start? What's the first thing I should do?
The first thing you should do is get a fitness tracker.
Mm-hmm.
That helped a lot. It helped me a lot. It motivates you to do more. Okay. Fitness tracker and cut sugar out.
Yeah.
Completely. For the duration of, you set a target. Set a hard target. And make sure it's still doable. Make sure your target is actually achievable. Don't set a target which is impossible.
Yeah.
Set an achievable target, but a hard target, and cut your sugar during that period. Let's say you set a year target, so try and cut off sugar for a year.
Yeah.
It's still doable.
And we're talking about the non-complex sugars, right? Like in soft drinks.
Yeah.
Juice, like fake juices and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Just stop it.
Yes.
And
Just
focus
stop.
on not taking any sugar for that.
It's gonna be hard for the beginning, but it takes about 2 weeks, and you get used to it after a while.
Mm-hmm. All right. And also, there's certain lifestyle things that you want to
start building up. If you're really heavy, you unfit, start walking. Just be more active. Slowly build up, and don't stop at that. Just add a bit more to it.
Mm-hmm.
Be more. Don't be complacent, and just push yourself a little bit. It's gonna be hard. It's definitely gonna be hard. You're gonna ache. You're gonna be hungry, but it's part of it, and it gets easier.
Yep.
And it gets easier, but it should not. It should not get easier. When it gets easier, you should push a bit harder, or push it a bit more, so you're constantly pushing yourself, moving forward, instead of just being complacent and just stuck there.
So how do I persevere? Like,
set a schedule.
Yeah.
I would recommend people to have a exercise schedule, because people being people will always find an easy way out.
Right. Define that exercise schedule. What do you mean?
It could be anything. Just say Monday I'm going to do this. How long? For 1 hour, or do cycling for another hour next day. Do hiking. Something. Just set a schedule for doing something, and stick to it. If you miss it for some reason,
Replace it.
Reschedule it. Don't say, "Oh, I miss it." Okay, because if you do that, you end up missing every single day.
Yeah. So let's just say if I set a schedule, say, hey, Wednesdays in the morning or after work, I'm gonna go walk in the park.
Yeah.
KLCC
For an hour.
For like 4 rounds.
Yep.
Right. Nothing's gonna stop me.
Yep.
If it rains, I'll do it the next day.
Yeah. Or find somewhere else. But
Yeah.
you have to do it, because if you skip it, you end up not doing it, and you're gonna end up skipping every single day eventually.
Yeah. And there's no like, oh, I gotta call on call, I gotta stay on
Yeah.
late, or my friends ask me to go and
Yeah.
have a drink.
Because when you said if I can't skip it, and you set that mentality that even though I can't do it today, I'm going to do it tomorrow. You eventually say, oh, no matter how, I'm going to find a way to do it, because I'm not going to do 2 sessions tomorrow. I'm not going to do maybe a swim and a run, a walk or whatever. You want to be lazy. I'm still lazy.
Yeah.
So
But you also want to be moderate. Not moderate. I mean, you want to sort of space it out.
yes,
So you don't kill yourself.
yes.
In a way.
But
I mean,
eventually you would end up doing more. Like me now, I could do 3-hour sessions. I could swim for an hour, so straight away go on a bike an hour, and after go for a run an hour. I've done that.
okay.
But I'm not asking people to do it straight away, but slowly build up to it.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So yeah, I think we've talked to. Well, I always say we're gonna talk about 40-45 minutes, but we've gone way past the hour. already.
Really?
But I think it's good
Long-winded.
context. No, I mean for me, it's really good context because it's a conversation that is realistic.
Yes.
It's a conversation with someone that has actually done it, and it's a conversation with someone who was an extreme, like 120, 70 kilograms, all the way down to 70.
75. Actually,
75.
the lowest I
Yeah.
got 75. Yeah.
75. So that's a solid 50 plus kilograms weight loss, right? And it's doable.
It's doable.
Without surgery, without
No
whatever is-
surgery, no
Exactly.
medicine. Everyone asks me, "Oh, what medicine did you take?" There's no medicine for it. Like,
It's
how-
a
can-
get off your ass. pill
Yeah.
and do it.
So a lot of people like looking for the quick pill. Like this,
Mhm.
if you wait for the quick pill, it's never gonna come.
Yeah.
It's just go and do it.
Yeah. Okay. So before we cut off, and again, thank you, Ivan, for
Yep.
taking the time to talk to me about this. And I know that a lot of people always struggle with weight, especially during Christmas or Chinese New Year, whatever it is. Any last piece of advice before we clock off?
Just go and do it.
Just do it. All right. Don't steal the tagline. No, Nike.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do
Right.
it.
All right. Well, do you want to share your social media, your Instagram, anything like that?
My Instagram is actually not very active. I'm not very
Yes,
active.
very active. Facebook.
Yeah, you can follow me on Facebook. What's my Facebook?
What do I look for?
Good question. I
Yeah.
don't even know my Facebook. You can search for Ivan Lim, but there's so many Ivan Lim there. So let me try and find you.
I'll tag you. I'll
Yeah.
tag your Facebook on
Tag me on
on
Facebook.
the Spotify or whatever channels that comes out in.
Yeah.
So it's Ivan Lim. The profile picture is the guy, the beanie, the
Oh, don't the profile will change. Just
Profile will
look for a fat man and an Iron Man picture on the wallpaper.
I'll put a picture of that up so you guys can see it. You can see the changes. You can see the improvements.
Yeah, you
and-
can scroll all the way back to 2013 and slowly see how you can see the progress actually from there.
Yeah,
Because my profiles are all open.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and it's all about sports.
Yeah, and I think you said you wanted to put up you're working on a YouTube channel as well to sort of.
Yeah, eventually
Eventually.
get off my butt. I just have to go and do it.
Fair enough. Cool. So Ivan, thank you again for your time. Really, really appreciate it.
Yes.
And I think this is something that hits personal with me as well. So thank you again for your time.
Yeah,
And
thanks for these.
Look, put all the links, and very, very happy to have this conversation with you.
Yes.
Thanks,
yes.
man.
Yeah, thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
So that's it, everyone. That's the first episode of 2020. Thank you again for sticking around to the end. And I do hope you found that podcast to be useful for what you want to do next. So to keep updated on the next few episodes, you can do the below. You can follow the podcast on Spotify. You can add our Instagram. It's @withrandomawesome_people. That's @withrandomawesome_people. In the bio, you get the link to open up Spotify. If you don't sub for Spotify or Spotify Premium, no worries. You can also download the Podbean app. That's Podbean, PODBEAN. Look for the Wrap on the podcast searches. It's where these episodes are hosted, and it's a free app, so don't worry about it. You can download the app, or you can stream on a web browser. I'm also putting this and future episodes up on YouTube, so that's free. You won't have video, just a still pic, but you can listen to the podcast anyway. So until the next podcast, feel free to message or DM me or drop me an email at nicholas@tui.com. That's nicholas@tui.com, THOOI.com. So thank you, everyone, and have a great weekend.